Any other witnesses in opposition? Any questions from committee members? Seeing none, you may close.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. So the average child molester offends probably about 200 times before they're ever caught, if they're caught. If they're caught. According to the FBI statistics, only 1 out of every 10, by their estimates, only 1 out of every 10 is even reported. So the suggestion that 86% never reoffend, I don't even understand where that statistic came from, because I don't know how anybody could possibly know that. What I do know is that children's lives are ruined when this happens. We've heard a lot of people talk about the effect that it has on the offender and the offender's family. And I certainly understand that must be something difficult to deal with as you try to move through your life. But we set certain parameters on society and how we expect people to behave in their freedom. This bill doesn't throw out the law wholesale. It only changes one portion of it, just one portion. It doesn't make any sense that if you molest a child 14 or 15, that your punishment is different than if the child is under 14. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So the way I'm looking at this, and the way you should be looking at this too, frankly, is this means that parents, grandparents, community members are able to know who has something in their past that would warrant them to be a little more cautious around that person. That means that if you know that the nice man that lives down the street from you, who's a senior citizen, who's retired, who's always out walking his dog and seems friendly enough, you should probably know if he has something like that in his past before you ask him to babysit your 2-year-old toddler who can't talk and can't communicate to you what he may be doing to her when you're not around. We all know child molesters are not like somebody in a dark trench coat with glasses and a hat on hiding in the corner. Most of the times, it's someone, almost all of the time, it's someone that they know. It is not a stranger. It's someone who develops a rapport, a relationship with that child. That's why they're so vulnerable, because they're so good at it and they're so manipulative into getting people to think that they are perfectly safe. And what I am saying is, I'm not asking that they are thrown behind bars for the rest of their lives. They have an opportunity to live their lives and be productive citizens, and no one's going to stop them from doing that. But I do think we have a responsibility to make sure we are all aware of the situation and make our own determination. I'm not saying they should be judged for eternity. I'm saying we should be afforded the opportunity to make smart choices for our own children. I'm asking for one section of this to be changed. That's all I'm asking for. With that, I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
And thank you. I know this is a passionate concern of yours, and so and I'm asking. We have a risk assessment system that will be implemented fairly soon, and the premise, and obviously I'm very sensitive about risk assessment, and to just throw out risk assessment altogether when it probably will be based primarily on what we do with bail and letting people out. That'd be a very important component of it. So one, would like to see what those of us that worked real hard for the tiered system to get in place, and you were here and I were here, how hard it was even just to get that voted in, that we at least let it get implemented, because there are a lot of people who took some very, very, very tough votes on that issue to have that even start. So let's get that started, and then before we start watering it down, that's one. Two, let's see how the risk assessment and other tools that are being used to assess these individuals to see if it actually works and make things better. So we absolutely don't put anyone at risk, no matter what age. And so with that, the chair is recommending a no vote.
Move the bill.
Second.
On AB 884, the motion is due pass to the Appropriations Committee. Joan Sawyer.
No.
Joan Sawyer, no. Lackey.
Aye.
Lackey, aye. Bauer Cahan. Bauer Cahan, aye. Deep.
Aye.
Deep, aye. Kamlager Dove.
No.
Kamlager Dove, no. Quirk. Santiago. Wicks.
Measures on call needs 2 more. And you have your other bill?
I do. I have AB 1559. And